welcome to day 17 of Vlogmas. So today's video is a little bit different to what I normally do, and it's basically a video on changing your mindset. I've been wanting to do this video for ages now, and I've talked about it in previous videos, but I wanted to sort of do a whole video on it and sort of share how I've changed my mindset and what kind of triggered it. I also just want to go through with the things that I did and what you could sort of help you to put in place with your weight loss journey. Or it might not be that you have a weight loss journey, it's just you have a bad relationship with food maybe, which usually can lead to a weight loss journey, or you know, the other opposite end. And so I just wanted to sort of talk about it. I'm no expert, I'm just going with what I've learned. If you feel there's something that needs more attention, then I would suggest you go and speak to your GP, but I'm just going with what I've learned. Now I've had, basically I would say I've had an eating disorder since I was like a teenager, since I was like 13, just like obsessed with like dieting, trying to lose weight, even when I wasn't actually like, I wasn't overweight or anything. I was a healthy weight range, but I just had a really bad relationship with food, and I'm sure lots of you can probably are in similar situations, but I just basically got to the point where well, I've been to this point for a long time, but I just got to the point where I was approaching my 40th birthday, and I just thought, I've got to do something about this, because I don't want to, I wanted to do this for my 30th birthday. I need to kind of nip this in the bud. I've had lots of fun, don't get me wrong, and I haven't always been overweight. I wanted to basically, I'd put on a lot of weight when I was pregnant with Ralph. I didn't so much with Sydney. After I had Sydney, I weighed myself and I was half a stone heavier than I was before he was, you know, before I was pregnant with him, because I didn't really eat that much when I was pregnant with him. I just couldn't keep anything down. It was very light food. Yeah, so I didn't have like an issue with him. I managed to lose that quite quickly. With Ralph, I ate, and I basically ate and ate and ate, and I put on like 3.5 stone, I would say. Yeah, was it 3.5? No, 3. I put on 3 stone with Ralph, and I lost a bit, put it back on, lost a bit, put more back on, and yeah, I just couldn't shift it. I was doing the exercise, as I said, I've always done exercise, but I just couldn't shift the weight. I don't know, it was just that bad relationship with food. I knew what I was doing wrong, and I just wanted to sort this out. I wanted to lose the weight and get back to the healthy weight range, and now I see what I see in the mirror and I like it, and I think, I can't believe I used to think I was fat or overweight. You know, I just, yeah, it took me a lot, it's taken me now to realise that. And I've done diets before in the past, like I've spoken about Weight Watchers before, and it is a really good diet plan, but it just wasn't me. I didn't change my mindset, I didn't change my habits, and something clicked. I did a course, I've spoken about it before, called Supercharge. That course no longer runs, but it was aimed at mums, based in their busy, hectic lifestyle, some working, some not, and just their relationships with food. And I'd done the course before, I did it like a couple of years ago, and I did it last June, and Slimming World is probably everything against what they were talking about, but something clicked, and it made me want to go back to Slimming World and give Slimming World another chance. I'd only done Slimming World, well, twice before, but once I think I did it like 1 week. I just found it too confusing. It was when it was the green and red days. The second time I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't in the right mindset. I wasn't doing it for me, and I was like, I've got to do this for me. So what clicked, and I've written some notes, so do apologise if I'm, you know, if I do have to look down. But one of the questions which was raised was, what was important to me? What do I want more? Do I want to feel good, or do I want to have that pie, or do I want to have that bar of chocolate? What is more important to me? And at that time it is losing weight. Losing weight is more important to me. I hear so many young people, I work in an environment where there are younger people, and they're like, well, you know, life's for living. And I've said that so many times myself, because yes, life is for living, but if you're not happy, and I see some of these young ones that aren't happy, some of them are and they're really confident, that's fine, they are happy, that's absolutely fine, but some of them aren't happy, they want to lose weight, they've said they want to lose weight, but they also want to live. And it's just weighing up what is more important, to live and eat and drink, than it is to be happy. And I just think that's what clicked for me. I was like fed up. I was just binging my diet. I was eating a really good diet, but for me it was all the bits in between, and the sod it moments, I call them, where you just think, oh, I'll have a glass of wine, oh, I might just have another glass, you know, and then start having chocolate or crisps or whatever. If I go out for a meal, I plan to drive, and then in the end I'm like, Darren, can you drive? And I just end up drinking. Or not, it wasn't always about the alcohol. I don't have a drinking problem at all, but it was about the food as well. I wouldn't have a pudding. I'm not a big pudding fan, and it would be people that would make me kind of, oh, go on, have a pudding, go on, have a pudding. I didn't actually want it. Now I've learned to say no. So it's things like this, and these are things that you need to work on. So I started working on the breakfast. So first of all, I would work on what could I have to start the day that was healthy within my sin allowance. Don't want to use a healthy extra B, don't want to use any of my healthy extra A. Finding a breakfast that works for me, that I enjoy. Now my favourite breakfast, which I've had previous to doing Slimming World, is boiled eggs or scrambled with spinach, either ham or bacon or mushrooms even, and some sriracha sauce, and that is my breakfast. So I kind of have that quite a lot. I do mix it up, but that's something I really enjoy. And then once I kind of mastered that, I would then head on to my lunch, look at different lunch ideas, and then the same for dinner, and also my snacks. And it was just working on different things and changing them and trying to stick to those new habits, which is like new lifestyle habits. Another thing we had to concentrate on was looking at different areas, things that you lack in and things that you're successful in. So for me, it is successful for me is like being organised, and I can plan in, and I've got really good, I know about good nutrition. I know about what vegetables do what and things like that. I know about the benefits of having avocados and nuts and things like that. But my problem was my lack of area was about how much and things like that. So it was my area of like being unsuccessful was things like the binging and not working on those sort of areas, which are really important. And so for me, when it got to the point where I was like sitting there and I'd have some chocolate, and whether I was doing Slimming World or not, it was about, I'd sin the chocolate, but then I'm like, oh, I'll have some more. And it was about changing my mindset. What do I want more? Do I want that extra bar of chocolate or piece of chocolate? Or do I want to lose half a pound next week? Or do I want to lose a pound next week? And that's the sort of things I had to change my mindset on. And it's quite hard. It is so hard to do, especially this time of the year. And that's why I wanted to post this up during Vlogmas, because it is really hard. And you think, oh, well, I'll just wait till after Christmas. Why don't you start now? Why don't you just start now? Forget about Christmas Day and Boxing Day. You can have a couple of days off and then just get back on it, or make some mindful choices on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, but just be a bit more lax. And that's what I plan to do, because that's what's going to work for me. But all the other meals before that, or any other occasion, you can be on plan, and you might not lose any weight in December. I have no plan, I would love to lose weight in December, but I have no plans to. Mine is to kind of maintain or be around where I was at the beginning of December. If I'm 3 pounds up in December, I'm absolutely fine with that. But if I'm, a stone heavier, I'll be a bit disappointed in myself. But I know that I can get it off. And it's about changing your mindset that one meal is not going to you know, undo all the damage and things like that, so you can just get back on it and enjoy it. So those are my areas that I lacked, that I was unsuccessful in, was the binging. That's the areas that I had to concentrate on. But then I had to look at the positives, that I am organised, that I can plan and be creative. And I'm really creative, like in the kitchen, creating new recipes, and just looking at the cupboard and thinking, what can I have, and bish bash bosh, it's done. Other people have to work harder at that, but finding what works for them. So these were different things that I had to work on, and I did that in June and July, and then I joined Slimming World in the August, and I put those things into practice. The other thing was, when I had those occasions where I just think, oh, you know, go out for a coffee or something, and I end up having a cake, which was very rare because I wouldn't usually have that anyway, but if I did, I would ask myself, do I actually want that? Am I hungry? Do I need it? Will it make me feel good? Yeah, I'll enjoy it at the time, but will it make me feel good afterwards? Probably not. So asking yourself that question in your head really does help. So I got to the point where I was like, every mouthful I was asking myself, and it took me a long time, took me weeks, months to get there. And it wasn't until the January this year that I really was like, I'm going to go for this. I'm really going to go for this. And I did. And you know, I'm now 3 stone down, and really, you know, I'm nearly at my target. But, you know, Christmas and my birthday is going to be awkward. And I could just call target now because I'm actually really, really happy, but I just want to get down. I want to be able to maintain it, but also I want a bit of leeway and things like that. So I just know I want to lose a little bit more, but I'm happy where I am. You know, if Slimming World ended tomorrow and they said, right, you're at target now, you know, this is your target, that's it, then I would be happy. But I have now the tools in my head, online, the community on YouTube and Instagram, where I need to go to kind of maintain that healthy lifestyle. And another thing, you know, it has been bumpy roads along the way. So I have had the odd binge, and I've held my hands up, and they're nothing like compared to what they used to be. I had one, I remember in January, and I wrote down, like, I got a piece of paper and I wrote down how it made me feel afterwards. And I kind of referred back to that when I felt another one coming along. And that really does help. No one needs to know. You don't need to share it with anyone. It's there for you, and it's about those little habits. But I also think, yes, life is for living. So I have those occasions and I enjoy those occasions, but I'm back on it the next day. I don't then have a blowout after blowout after blowout. You know, I could go out for a meal one night and then the next day have a big fry up because, well, I've been bad one meal. I don't do that anymore. I just kind of think, well, that was one meal, back on it, and it's about living that lifestyle, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. Don't get me wrong, I have found December so far really hard, with the chocolate all around, and I'm not even like I'm more of like a savoury fan. I think I'm a bit of both actually, but I am finding it really hard. But I am doing my best, I am going for it, and I'm, you know, if I make a blip, I make a blip. I'm just not dwelling on it, whereas before I would dwell on it and I would then probably eat my emotions. So these are little things that you can work on. Just buy yourself a nice book, or get a book that you bought yourself that you never used, and sit down there, and every time you have those moments, even before you reach for it, write down how you're feeling, and by then hopefully that emotion will go and you'll make a better choice. So it is really hard. I think that everyone can do this. You just have to work, because what do you want more? Do you want to be happy and healthy, at a weight or at a size, should we say, because it's not always about the scales, that you are happy with? Or do you want to have that food and enjoy it and live and everything like that, but you're not happy in the clothes that you're wearing or the size that you are, and you're not healthy? And you can do something about it, but it is, you've got to work at it. There are magic pills, there are operations and things like that, and that's fine if you want to go down that route, but you're still not going to change your mindset. You need to work on that. So I don't want to sound patronising. I am just going with what I've learned, and hopefully if you're in a similar situation, you can put some of these into practice. So yes, I think I've waffled enough. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you have, and do leave any comments below. Share any tips and ideas, because it could help me, but it could also help others that, you know, read the comments and things like that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.